So you mentioned evolve, and you deserve the credit for that. But how much has working with Adam Oates helped you evolve and change your career? Is
Well, I
that
mean,
the
I would,
turning point?
yeah, 1,000%. I mean, I would never be back in the NHL if I didn't get the chance to work with them. I've told the story before, but sort of it just kind of happened in line with what was happening with my brother in 2019, I think it was, in the Blues, where they were last place in the league. Brayden was struggling, hadn't scored in probably 15 or 16 games. And there was trade talk, I think, of him at the time. And the only guy that was really having a bunch of success up front was Ryan O'Reilly, and he was working with OT at the time. And so he passed on to Brayden saying, hey, well, he's helped me out a lot. Maybe you should give him a call. So Brayden did talk to OT and kind of started getting hot and started scoring, and the Blues started winning. And, the rest is history, what happened that year. But in terms of, Brayden would, after probably a week or so of working with him, he OT said, told Brayden, he goes, I never really go looking for clients or players. Typically they come to me, but I got to ask, like, what's going on with Luke? I used to coach against him, and he's in the minors now at, well, how old was I, 29 or whatever. What's happened? So Brayden kind of passed on the message, and I gave him a call, and just by fluke, OT was doing a little bit of work at the time with the LA Kings, and so he was actually flying out to LA like a few days later, and I met him in LA just to kind of have a beer with him and kind of pick his brain. And then I was like, hey, let's give this a try. And then a week later, I ended up getting traded to Vancouver, but the deal was I had to start in Utica. So I asked OT if he would come work with me in Utica. So he did, and came there for a few days, and I was with him on the ice for, probably a couple hours before the Utica Comets practice, and then after practice as well with OT. So just putting in some long shifts and just trying to understand sort of what he was teaching. And it started clicking a little bit and sort of telling me a lot of things that just for example, like, obviously being a bigger, heavier guy, everyone's kind of always on your skating, and try to get you to work with different skating coaches or work on your edges or change your stride, or try to lose 10 pounds, like all that sort of stuff to get you a better skater. And he just basically, I got news for you, like, you are what you are in terms of skating, like, why don't we get you thinking a little bit different? So every single shift of your life, you're not fighting for your life out there in a foot race. Like, you can think the game in different ways where you're maybe reading the game a little bit better. So just all these different sort of things where he started teaching me. And then the biggest thing is handling the puck. I got taught or told lots by coaches to not handle the puck. They would say, don't stick handle it, just get rid of it. But you have to go back and make a play under pressure, on a breakout. You can't just throw it off the glass every single shift, or it's a turnover a lot of the time if you don't make the correct play. So yeah, just going back for pucks and trying to move the puck 5 to 10 feet and get in the forward's hands and finding different ways to do that. So yeah, like I said, a long-winded answer, but if I would have never hired him, I can firmly say that I would have never been back in the NHL. I would not, have my name on the Stanley Cup, and I would still not be playing till this time. And that's why, like I said, you get better with age, but you're not necessarily, getting faster or whatever. You're thinking the game better, and you're working on, the little skills that you're able to kind of keep things simple out there and almost not get noticed a lot of times, which is a good thing as a defenseman.
Did he work with you on your actual stick at all? Your lie, your curve, any of
Oh
that
yeah.
conversation?
Yeah. It's the first thing. It's the first thing. It's your tool. I
It's
mean,
your
that's what
weapon.
he's exactly. If you don't have the right, I
What'd you
didn't
change?
yeah, the curve. I mean, obviously it is like the Adam Oates curve now, like, and you can get it in Warrior Bauer, like CC, like whatever stick you're using. I mean, there is a curve there that all his players are, I would say 9 out of 10 of his guys, and he's probably got, I don't know, 60 plus guys now, maybe 100 plus throughout the whole group now that are
That
using the
switched
curve.
to his curve?
Well, and it's just, yeah, and it's just,
And what were you using before?
I mean, like when I first started in the league, I was using a massive like heel curve, which like I don't think anyone in the league even uses anymore. And my stick was also probably a foot taller. And so like, yeah, no wonder why you couldn't handle the puck. But at the time, like when I first got to the Kelowna Rockets, like I never used a curve like that in my life, but you go to the Kelowna Rockets and this is back in, 2005. Well, it was just kind of when guys were starting to get one piece sticks and they give you two options. Not every player like in junior hours where you get to pick your own curve and Bauer comes in and says, here you go, pick whatever model you want and the team gets them for you. It was two choices. And I started using the heel curve because I saw Shea Weber using it when I first got to Kelowna. And I saw the bomb he had and obviously it worked for him. But yeah, it's just like different ways. And the reason why, OT has a certain curve is because you can make certain plays based on the curve and the lie on your backhand, at which you got to go to sometime. And, you got a little bit of a toe in there where you can sort of, make plays and have it sort of in there without it rolling off your stick. So once you understand it, like it's a crazy thing. And I kind of was like, yeah, this is whatever. And then actually originally when I first started working with OT, Teddy Purcell was working with them too. And he said, no, like, it all makes sense. Like I wish I would have done the same thing when I played. Like he's like I would have still been playing if I would have started picking up on the stuff now when I'm help coaching and preach after him. So yeah, I just bought into it, and it makes a ton of sense. Like I said, a lot of guys are bought in and are getting better year after year.
What's up, hockey fans? If you enjoyed that video, then you need to be hitting the subscribe button right here at Daily Faceoff. Exclusive interviews and analysis from our hockey insider Frank Saravalli, fantasy updates from Brock Sagan, and a daily live show at noon Eastern, Monday through Friday. You don't want to miss any of the fantastic content, so hit that subscribe button.